Hello and welcome to Ula Tea Leaf Readings. My name is Lenor and tonight I'm going to be reading your tea leaves. This is a horoscope for Cancer. If Cancer is your solar, lunar, ascendant / rising sign, then this is a message for you. All right, let's get started. And so this is a bonus reading for Cancer and we are in Cancer season, aren't we? So a big happy birthday to you if your birthday has passed. I hope you had a wonderful, wonderful birthday. If your birthday is today, on this very day that you are watching this, super happy birthday to you. And if it's coming up, I wish you the most wonderful, wonderful birthday. So, our card tonight is the Four of Cups, okay? And this is from Carnival at the End of the World. I love these cards. They're beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, and let's take a look and see what these tea leaves have to say tonight. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you want to leave a little like or a comment, I would love to hear from you. If this is your first time watching, let me know in the comments. I'm definitely interested in knowing all about our new viewers. Okay, let's see. Okay, so we have an A over here. We have an A right here, and I'm just it's next to, it looks like maybe a vulture or maybe a hawk. We have a person up here who looks like they're wearing a dark outfit, maybe a robe, maybe has a beard. We have the eye right up here. We have an A right above their head as well. I keep seeing A and E. A-E everywhere. A-E. A-E. We have an A and an E here. It just is repeating. So if those letters together mean anything to you, or if, you know, I don't know, maybe they're in your name, maybe they're in somebody important's name. Now down here it almost looks like we have S-E-E as well, C. And it also looks like this one also turns into, it looks like an S-E-E. It just, I really feel like it's like there's a message knocking at the door. And we're trying to figure out what's going on here. It's like, see, I want you to see. I want you to see this. Now we have this person over here, and I feel like this is almost like a family member that you were really inspired by, that really kind of was a role model for you. I feel like people that know that person or knew that person, if they have transitioned, they say often to you, you remind me of your uncle, your dad, your grandfather. You know, there's so much of them in you. Like, you just have the same kind of speech patterns. You're interested in similar things. I think that you both are probably pretty solitary people, religious, or maybe involved in the occult, a magician, sorcerer or practitioner of some sort, a diviner, definitely a seer. Not really getting the vibe exactly of like maybe like an energy healer or anything like that, but I think it's more this kind of a philosopher, right? Somebody who's really on the kind of outskirts of things, but sees so clearly, right? Like, able to observe deeply, expansively. And I think that drives you away from being close to most people. I think that this is kind of an incarnate cycle for you where, yeah, you're here to kind of observe and partake in your own quiet ways. I feel like you're somebody that definitely has a very cultivated interior world, your interests, your passions, your kind of, activities that you like to do, that is more a friend to you than most other people. Okay, and that's not to say that you don't have relationships with others. I just think that if you had a choice of what you could be doing, with your Saturday afternoon, it would be, working on your hobbies or studying or reading or going for a walk by yourself or whatever. And I think it's probably always been this way for you. I think that part of it is that you really are very much an empath. You take in people's energies. They affect you greatly. And it depletes you. I feel like there's a sense of like just being worn out after being around people, especially a lot of people, especially if it's loud, right? If there's a lot of sensory stimuli going on, I can absolutely feel that it's like emptying your energetic reserves, and you go back home and you sleep it off for, like 12 hours. And, but I don't think that there's anything that you lament about being in this kind of, posture of life, right? I don't feel like it's so much of I feel like I'm missing out. I wish I could know people better or be connected more. No, I think that you have come to a place where you're very confident in the way that you live. Now, maybe when you were younger, there was maybe a yearning to have more of a connectiveness or have a lot of friends or be popular or whatever. But I think those quickly dissipated as you got into your adulthood and, realized that you could fill your life with whatever you wanted. You could be doing whatever you wanted, and to have to deal with the complexities of other people and friendships and navigate those things really didn't feel necessarily like a priority. Okay. And so, I think that you are thriving with the way that you are living. Now, we have a horse right here. We have a person on a horse. We have a person up here. You can see right here, we have an eye over top of them. And it looks like a cat right here. We have the number 4. And I saw the number 6. Where is it? Right there, 6. So we have the number 4 and 6. I absolutely feel like this is a time, especially because it is around your birthday, right? This is a time where I feel like you're refocused on doing your whatever kind of spiritual, religious work that you're involved in. I feel like during this time, it's kind of like at New Year's, right? Where we all kind of figure out, what are my goals for the year and what am I going to devote myself to, right? And I feel that this is kind of where you're at, and kind of reminding yourself to pick back up some of your spiritual routines. Okay, so maybe you have been slacking on the meditation, or maybe you do yoga or some kind of tantra or breath work, or, you know, I don't know, maybe you are an alchemist of kinds in the physical, maybe plant alchemy, or you know, I don't know, like a Wiccan, and you have your mini celebrations and whatever. I don't know exactly what Wiccans do. I'm not gonna claim that I do, but I imagine there are a lot of celebrations and rituals to be had, and the same with anything in the Abrahamic religions and so on. Yeah, we go through parts of our life where we kind of, neglect some of these practices, and we get busy, or we get distracted, or we just don't feel like doing them, and we fall out of practice, right? And then our birthday sneaks up on us, or some time of the year, and we start to think, okay, well, I'm going to redevote myself to this path. And I feel like this is where you're at. There's a lot of movement towards, and that's the horse, getting on the horse and getting going. There's a lot of movement towards getting yourself prepared, right? Setting up your altar, setting up your little temple. Maybe you're getting back into journaling, so you're out there looking for the perfect pen and the perfect, notebook or journal. Whatever it is, you're in the stages of collecting the tools, getting the things ready, and best intentions about participating in your spiritual work, religious work. Okay, so maybe also, let me say, this is also a good example, is when we stop going to church as much, right? First, we're going every weekend, sometimes during the week for, different fellowship or a different worship or whatever. Maybe, you've kind of neglected going to temple on Friday nights, and, because there are other things to do. The weather's gotten nicer and there's a lot of stuff. So you missed one day, and then, the next month you missed maybe 2 of them. And then next thing you know, it's like you haven't been in a while, right? And this is like reestablishing, showing back up. Getting involved once again. And so, I feel that it's a good time to also remind ourselves that we're only human. We all have a lot of stuff going on, and we will find our way to where we need to be. Sometimes we have to have this reminder. Yeah, snap out of it. I was going to do my fingers, but there, snap out of it, right? And we remind us that, hey, let's get on the ball. Let's get going. I gotta, be resolved in my kind of, I don't know, is it laziness? It's not always laziness. Sometimes we're just really tired. Sometimes it just doesn't feel right. Sometimes it's just, I don't know. For me, I go through periods where it all seems so bleak and meaningless. Right? And I'm just like, what does this even mean? Is this just foolishness? Am I going through this, am I acting it out? What am I doing? And thankfully that will dissipate for me. But I do have moments like that. I absolutely do. And I question, what am I doing all this for? Well, because it feels meaningful. And sometimes, right, we have to push ourselves back into getting to that place. It doesn't always just, drop in our lap. We're not always so lucky to be somebody who is fully enthralled and immersed in our faith, in our spiritual practices. Some of us have to kind of push ourselves along, until we get to a place where, we're in a state of flow. But I think that this is a time where you are feeling very inspired to get back to where you want to be, okay? And I feel that this is so important for Cancer people to have things that do feel meaningful to you. Although Cancer can be perceived as being, fairly stoic or at least very guarded, kind of shut off from things, maybe slow going to some degree, about, aspects of their life and decision making and whatever. When you are in a state of being impassioned by life, by spirit, the divine in your relationship with the divine, absolutely so activated, on cloud 9 almost. And so, I think this is a time where it's like, yeah, I want to get back to where I was at. I want to get back to feeling connected to, the things that I want to do. Not just kind of going along to get along, right? Just on autopilot all the time. And so we also have up here another person on a horse, right? And it looks like this horse is really going fast. So this is a lot of movement of energies through your life, definitely. Now, over here, we have a person. Now, this is the same that we were looking at the beginning. And I'm seeing that we also have a person over here who is holding a bird to their mouth, right? To me, it also kind of looks like a teacup. Maybe you're going to start reading tea leaves, right? They have the teacup right in here. This is the head of the person. Their arms are holding up the teacup or the bird. Either way, the teacup or the bird are the same in a lot of ways because it is the bringer of messages. Okay. Now we have the body down here. Okay. So I do feel like there is an opening of vision, being able to receive messages, mediumship, clairvoyance, channeling, so on. Okay. So this is a really good time for you to get in there and really practicing whatever kind of divination you might be attracted to. There are so many. You can even make up your own, right? It's probably already been done by somebody somewhere, but you can still get real creative with how you read things. To be a lot of... I get messages and emails from people asking me about, what does a symbol mean? How do I begin to read tea leaves, or, what is the method, or whatever, And it's important that we have some idea of, like a basic outline of how things are done. But the thing about divining, especially scrying, is there are no set rules, right? What one symbol or one energy or, a repeating number or synchronicity or whatever, what it means to me probably doesn't mean the same to you because you've had your own experiences with it. Okay, so what is important is developing your understanding in a functional manner of the things that you are reading about, right? The things that are coming through to you. So if you keep seeing, ravens, right? For most people, this might be a bird that represents death. Okay, that's often, we think of the raven, where my namesake kind of comes from. Actually, my name is from the poem Lenor, but Lenor is also in the raven. Either way, it comes from Edgar Allan Poe. And so we think of these birds as a death bird, right? Because they're black and kind of menacing looking. But for me, I don't think of it as that. I think of when I see a raven or a crow, that I'm on the right path, right? These are birds that are highly intellectual. They're very good at solving puzzles. They form beautiful relationships with each other, with other species, with human beings. They have routines. They have language. They, These are not a bringer of death in my estimation. But that might be different for you, right? It might be absolutely different from you, and that's okay. So when I look at this and I feel like we're getting into this place where you are reaffirming your place in, or reestablishing your place within your spiritual work, this is a wonderful time to be exploring and dabbling in and creating your own techniques, your own way of doing things. You know, on the comments here, and you see this on all of any reader, right? Tarot reader or otherwise, people will tell you, you're doing it wrong. That's not what that means. Or you shouldn't, do your readings this way. I hear sometimes, and I do talk about this one here. I talk about myself in my readings because it's how I like it to be conversational, right? And I like to explain things in a way that maybe I say it and you're like, what the heck does that mean? But then I want to bring in an example, or I want you to understand where I'm coming from with something. I want you to also know me in some way, right? Not just some random unknown person doing a reading for you. People say, don't do it that way, right? Don't talk about yourself so much. Don't get off topic so much. Just get to the fortune or whatever. Well, you know what? We all do things the way that we do them. Okay? So don't be afraid to, change how you do things. Don't be afraid to explore your style of reading or divining or doing magic or worshiping within your faith, right? Any of these things. It should be individual to you. It should feel right to you, okay? I think so often we are deterred from doing things because we try to do it and it doesn't feel right. We're trying to do it the way that it says in the book. Go and look at, a tassiography or tassiomancy, how to. It explains how you read and what the process is, how you drink the tea or pour the tea and, spin it and whatever. And then what the symbols mean and where they mean on the cup and stuff. It seems like a lot to memorize. It seems like a lot to, if it doesn't feel natural to you, it seems like that would be hard to replicate, right? And then it deters you. It's like, oh, well, this is a lot, so I don't really know. I mean, it was fun, but I don't really feel connected to it. Well, it shouldn't be that way, right? It comes naturally to you. You are a being with sight. You have the ability to perceive things that most people don't. Or they don't know how to, or they can't access it yet, or they're working towards it. But for you, Cancer, and I believe this wholeheartedly, you are a people that are very magically inclined. The mysteries are not something to travel towards. You are immersed in the mysteries from birth. Okay? So, you establishing your own way of doing things in the spiritual work has to be. It just has to be. or you're just not going to do it, okay? But I hope you do, because we need more Cancer readers, definitely. They're the best. And my husband happens to be one, and he is the best. Shout out to my husband over at Dove and Serpent Tarot. Such an amazing tarot reader. Now, also the last thing that we'll look at on the bowl here is we have the Sacred Heart. Okay, you can see, and it's out of focus, my bad. So we have the heart, we have the top of it, a flame. Okay, so this is a symbol that we see in Catholicism specifically. And, but it really does represent our belovedness with the divine. It does not have to be just Christianity, right, or Catholicism. It is something that's present in all traditions, right? The belovedness of us with our deities, us with the ineffable, us with our interior beloved, our animus, our anima, you know, and so on. And this is a time where your heart is aflame. You are aligned with that real stream. It's a river. It's not even a stream. It's a river of beloved love and that real fiery energy. That is where, in my mind, the water element and the fire element connect, right? This ability to access the divine thing, okay? To live it out in our life. To consider our relationship with our faith, or, you know, whatever your spirituality looks like, not just something that's over here, just lives over here, and sometimes we go over there to visit it. No, it's woven into every aspect of your day, of your night, of your being. Okay, you are not separate from that work. That is the ultimate work for you. And so, yes, I see that there is a belovedness there. You are in the corridors of love right now. Okay, let's see. We have 3 illuminating lights in a row. So 3 revelations. We also have the number 3 right below. 3, one of the most sacred numbers. Arguably, they're all sacred numbers. But the trine, right? The Trinity is one that is quite elevated. And so 3 instances of revelation coming up. So look out for those. Now, we also have a goose in flight up here, migration. There will be some kind of travel for you soon, okay? Might be leisurely, might be work, might be family. I don't know, but it is probably outside of your local area. Maybe it is to the other side of town. Maybe it is to the other side of the country. I'm not sure, but it will be happening soon. I don't feel like this is a surprise, though. I think you've been planning this, okay? And maybe something that you do every year, since we are kind of talking about those goose migrations. Okay, so we have the serpent up here. We have a person wearing a robe down here. And it looks like we have the apple. Okay, so I feel like there is kind of a choice here for you. Are you going to indulge in the knowledge? Are you going to go through the revealing? And what are the... what's the word? What are the, what's going to come of that, right? I was going to say what is the word? Yeah, this is me and losing my words. Don't worry. I'm not having any new cognitive problems. Don't worry about me. It's always been like that since I was little. I don't know. They say it's because of ADHD. And anyways, my therapist has said that. I don't know. Maybe that's true. Maybe it's not. But I do. I can't think of words quite often. And so anyways, these are going to be... So we have, yes. When we decide, right, to do especially deep interior work, You can think of the apple, right, as in the story from Genesis, as eating the serpent brings the apple, right? And Eve decides, yeah, I'm going to have that apple. I'm going to partake in this apple, and I'm going to eat of the tree of knowledge. I'm going to know. But what are that's the word, consequences. What are the consequences that come from knowing? Especially when we're digging into self, our traumas, our hurts, our pains, the root of things. We might want to know, and we maybe should know, right? We should do that work. Does it always alleviate the pain? Does it always make life easier? The understanding of something, that clarity, that revelation, will it free us, right? That's, I think, usually how we feel, right? We do this work so we can process it, so we can be free of the burden. Now, does that always happen? No, of course it does not, but there's a decision to be made. You know, on the other side of it, it could be something that absolutely changes your life. It leads you in a direction of the great successes that you yearn for. But you have to consider, you know, what is it going to be? Will there be fallout here? Will there be chaos here? Will there be turmoil? And so I look at this and I feel like there is an opportunity here to have a deeper knowing. And let's just face it. I mean, a Cancer person is ever on a quest of knowledge. Also, wisdom, right? The transmutation of knowledge into wisdom. And so, I don't think you can help yourself, you know? Even if you know it's going to be difficult and hard and terribly destabilizing in some ways, there's no choice for you. I mean, there is a choice, of course, but often you are going to choose to eat the apple because there's no reason to just remain naive or blinded to the thing. And so, you know, I don't know what comes of that, but it does seem that there are some, you know, old truths that will be coming up. There will be some light shed on situations that maybe have seemed pretty obscured, okay? So prepare yourself. I think that's it. Just prepare yourself. Okay, let's see. We're going to do the divine doors. I'm going to flip through. I'm going to stop where it feels right. We have some kind of castle here. It says passages, spiritual signs of inclination. You're walking through passages of your transformation. You are walking through passages of your transformation. All right. Okay, so Cancer, I'm going to tell you I love you because I do, and I thank you so much for spending this time with me. It is always such an honor to be able to bring these messages to you. And if you would be so kind as to like the video, it helps the channel. And if you have not subscribed yet, please think about doing that. You can hit that little bell. It'll let you know when the next readings are coming out. It is free to subscribe. And if you'd like to leave a comment, please do. I would love to hear from you. Yes. Oh, yes. If this is your first, I'm sorry. I'm like, remember Lenor. I need to put up like a little list right next to where you can look and see if I've hit all the points. Because I do. I be getting lost. But yes, if this is your first time, go ahead and comment. Let me know. I'd love to hear all about it, how you got here, what you took away from the reading, and, you know, that's it. No, I want to hear about you as well. I love the comments where I get to hear about people and their lives and things going on. I remember them too, by the way. I might not always comment back, but I remember you guys. I know your screen names. I know your little profile pictures, and I remember your stories, definitely. So yeah, with that, again, I'll say I love you. Take care of yourselves. We will talk real soon. Good night.